you pray at home, you're not alone. Okay, so even if you're not surrounded by rows of people, you're certainly not alone. And Sa'id al-Musayyib radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he narrates that no one goes into prayer even if they're on waterless, desolate land, ardi falah, which we'll talk about. But you're praying all alone, except that an angel would pray to your right, an angel to your left, and angels would pray behind you. Amthalul jibal, angels the size of mountains are praying behind you. Can you imagine? You're entering into salah, you're entering into prayer in your bedroom, in your living room, in your dining room, your office, wherever it is, and you think it's just you. And there are angels the size of mountains that are praying behind you as you're saying Allahu Akbar. Wouldn't that cause you to think a little bit more, instead of going, to actually think about the way that you're reciting and to take more seriously the moment? Obviously, the most serious element of it is that you're standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But as you're standing before Allah, you have these angels the size of mountains that are praying behind you. And there is something special to praying alone and what that denotes in terms of ikhlas, in terms of sincerity. And so you find these two hadith, one of them from Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anhu, the Prophet said that the prayer in congregation, the prayer in jama'ah, is like 25 times the individual prayer. And then the Prophet said, and salat that is in falah, in the middle of nowhere, okay, which is the best way I think you can translate falah, in the middle of nowhere, is like the prayer of 50 times the reward. Okay, so it's like twice the reward of the jama'ah. In another hadith, the Prophet he mentioned that ya'jibu rabbukum, your Lord is pleased with a shepherd in the mountains all by himself, who calls out the adhan, who does the iqamah, and then he does the prayer all by himself. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls the angels and he says, look at this slave of mine. Look at this one. Look at him. He's all alone. He calls the adhan. He calls the iqamah. He makes the prayer out of fear for me and love for me. And he says to the angels subhanahu wa ta'ala, قَدْ غَفَرْتُ لِعَبْدِي وَأَدْخَلْتُهُ الْجَنَّةِ. I have forgiven this servant of mine and I have entered him into paradise. Why? Because of the sincerity of this person in the middle of nowhere, in the mountains.